Using coffee filters and markers and water, we're going to be creating the secondary colors. Our first step is to create a name tag. Grab a small piece of paper from your table and write your name with a Sharpie, and also write your table color that you sit at. Then look for the messy mat that has a plastic baggie over it. Because we're working with a lot of water today, we want to use this messy mat with the baggie, and you also want to put your name tag inside the baggie. Really important that our coffee filters are staying on our messy mat and not on the table today. You might notice that you won't see any coffee filters at your table today. That's because you have to raise your hand patiently, like this. Sitting on our bottoms, quietly raising our hand. You'll be raising your hand each time you need a new coffee filter. Oh yeah, and there's one more thing. You need to hold up the 2 primary colored markers to show me how to make your secondary color, and then you'll get your coffee filter. If you don't hold up the correct colors, then you will not get a coffee filter. Holding the coffee filter with one hand and the other hand to color a few lines with both of the primary colors. You'll want to layer 2 primary colors at a time on each coffee filter. Be gentle because this paper is very thin. At the end of art, Ms. Chen will spray your coffee filters with water, and we will watch them make our secondary color. As our artwork is wet, we're going to be using the drying rack. We're going to use the red drying rack today. You'll notice on the drying rack that there's lots of colored sheets of paper. Color paper matches your table color. So for example, if you sit at the blue table, find the blue sheet of paper in the drying rack and slide in your messy mat with your wet coffee filter artwork. To create the shape of our planets, we're going to be using these plastic circles to use them as stencils and tracers. Open your artwork folder carefully because you don't want everything to slide out, but find your name tag with your 3 coffee filters inside of them. Now grab your black piece of paper and find a white crayon from your crayon box, and on the bottom right corner write your name. Flip your paper over to the back and write your class. With your coffee filters on your messy mat, take out the plastic circles and begin to test out which circle fits best on your coffee filter. You want to make sure that it fits inside your coffee filter and it's not hanging off the edge or the side of your coffee filter. Using a pencil, carefully trace around the circle. Make sure you use one hand to hold the stencil down and the other hand to trace around. It helps if your pencil tip is touching the cup so that it follows the line around. If you need help with tracing, don't be afraid to ask for help from a friend at your table. Now we're going to use our scissors and nibble, nibble, nibble all around the pencil line, cutting out our circles. If you have enough room to make another planet, you can cut your own freehand. That means without a stencil. All finished cutting, make sure you take all those coffee filter scraps and please recycle them. Before we glue, let's arrange, which means place them on our black paper and make sure we like how we've placed it. Remember, at least 2 of your planets need to be overlapping. That means one on top of the other. Now using the glue, carefully dip your glue brush and wipe, wipe, wipe. Flip your planet to the back side and hop around your glue brush like a bunny. Remember, we don't want too much glue because then it'll be icky and sticky and it's gonna get all over our galaxy. Because our coffee filter paper is pretty thin, it shouldn't take too much glue for it to stick down. After all your planets are glued down, double check your black paper and make sure there's no icky sticky glue on the black paper. If there is and you turn it into your artwork folder, it's going to stick or to someone else's artwork. Make sure you close your glue box and you wipe off your glue brush. At the end of art, turn your artwork into your artwork folder or when you're finished. Today we're going to be adding details to our galaxy using oil pastels. Find your artwork from last week in your artwork folder at your table. Next, let's grab our messy mat and place it under our artwork. We're going to be using oil pastels today. They're very different from crayons. They show up way brighter and they're a little bit softer when you use them to color with. So be careful when you're drawing because they can easily break. When we use oil pastels, we use one color at a time, and we always want to make sure we put it back in the correct spot. They're organized by warm colors, cool colors, and neutral colors. If you need help peeling the oil pastel paper, then raise your hand and Miss Chen will come help you. Using a white oil pastel, I'm beginning to add details, like adding a ring around one of my planets. Then I'm beginning to draw small dots in the background to represent stars. Even added a super fast comet flying through my galaxy. To create the comet, I just added a few long lines to one of the stars to make it look like it was flying really fast. Those lines show movement. Finished adding details to your galaxy, or at the end of art, we're going to turn it into our artwork folder. Then double check your oil pastels and make sure they're organized by warm, cool, and neutral colors.